Hi, and welcome to our video, How to Put on Ski Boots Without Even Trying. For those of you that have done this hundreds, even thousands of times successfully, listen anyway, I think you'll learn something. For those of you that struggle to get into boots by pulling up on the tongue as hard as you possibly can and still find it tough, and maybe at the end of the day when you take your boots off, there's blood on the top of your foot, you're going to learn a lot. So stay tuned. The goal of getting into boots easily is to open up this area, the instep area of the boot, as wide as we possibly can. And for those of you that put on your boots in cold parking lots, I want you to see how difficult this is for me to open this boot up, and the boot is at room temperature. Boots should be put on where they're warm, and they should be kept warm on the way to the ski area. For women, it will always be harder to get into boots, so it's even more important to use the proper technique. For women, it will be harder because their instep is oftentimes higher than a man's, their foot is shorter, so the boot is shorter, therefore the opening is smaller. Not as much upper body strength, so it's harder to spread this open. So all of those things together make it more difficult for a woman to get into a boot. Women's boots, although the numbers say they're softer, because the parts are shorter, they also act stiffer. So everything about getting into a boot for a woman is more difficult. So important to get a few things right. Boot should be warm. This sock I'm wearing has special slip zones here at my instep and here at my heel. It's a sock we sell by Bridgedale. And these slip zones make things really much easier. I would recommend that as one of the things to make life easier. Let me get a boot. Fresh from the box, completely unadulterated, haven't modified it in any way. Let me show you how easy it can be when you do things correctly. Remember, our goal is to open this area of the boot as wide as possible. So put my foot in. With one hand, grab the tongue, and the lower and closer to my instep I grab the tongue, the more help it'll be. So rather than grab up here, I get my hand quite low on the tongue here, and I want to always pull the tongue to the outside of the boot. So pull to the outside. This thumb goes on the little piece of plastic from the lower part of the boot sticking up, and I pull those two pieces away from each other and easily slip my foot into the boot. To make it even easier, and this is absolutely my favorite ski accessory of all time, is the hot gear bag. Oh, these boots are toasty, and so are my gloves that are in there and everything else. Remember how hard it was for me to spread that orange boot apart, and it was at room temperature. Look how easy it is with this boot. So imagine how easy this is going to be. Slide my foot in, step down, and I'm in. One other way that I use often, I find with some boots it works a little bit better, is put the liner on my foot first, and then slide my foot into the warm shell. Either way, both methods work really well. Both methods work better in a warm boot versus a room temperature or even colder boot. Once I'm in, there's a couple rules yet about buckling. Grab a hold of the liner. Instead of kicking in, which is very ineffective, grab a hold of the liner and pull it up, and you'll probably feel your heel sink further into the heel pocket. That's the goal. So pull myself into the heel pocket, get the tongue in properly, pull it up gently since it probably slid down a little bit as a result of the motion of our foot sliding into the boot, and then push the tongue down. I've always found most boots buckle better if I start from the bottom. So not very tightly on the bottom two buckles, especially if my boots fit well. If my boots don't fit well, and I'm one of these skiers who finds that I need to buckle my boots just so tightly down here in order to hold my foot in place when I'm skiing, come see us and let us get you in a smaller boot. The problem is your boot's too big. So down here, I buckle just lightly. My foot will stay in place if my boots fit well. Up top, now I buckle tightly. These top two buckles should be snug. This is where a good part of edging comes from, and I want these to be tight on my leg. Power strap, last thing. Also tight. I'm done and I'm ready to ski. There is another way to wear a power strap for those of you with a really thin leg and difficulty closing everything up here. Instead of doing the power strap over top of everything as I just did, I can do my power strap underneath the buckle parts, the top buckle parts, and put the power strap directly on the boot tongue. Pull it tight. It does a nicer job of actually pulling the tongue against my shin, which is the job of the power strap anyway. And then when I buckle everything over top of it, it acts to fill up some of the space as well. And it gives just a nice snug feel up here. You can see how tight everything is on my shin. Finally, before I head out to ski, I flex the boot a few times. That moves my foot further back into the shell. I'm ready to go skiing. As always, if you liked our videos and find them helpful, please like them, send them to your friends. If you have any questions, call or come in at your convenience. Have a great day.